Well, good morning. It's Thursday morning and it's another episode of what I can do with vanilla beans. Now it's December 2nd, so I thought it was time that we made some heartwarming jam. Now this is vanilla bean pear jam, and I'm going to show you how to make it. And with just a simple piece of cloth of Christmas design and some yarn, it makes a perfect gift this holiday season. It's scrumptious, and of course I'm going to have Joe try it, so that you see his reaction to it all. What a great gift this Christmas season. Vanilla bean pear jam. I'm starting out with about 12 Bartlett pears. And I'm going to need 4 cups of sugar. And so I'm going to put it in my stock pot so that I can mix everything right in there. Now I need about 9 cups of pears. I don't peel the pears because the skin is thin enough. And as I cut them, I core them, I cut them, I just dump them in with the sugar and I just mix them. So every time I'm dumping a couple, 2 or 3 cups in, I'm going to stir it again, and they will retain their beautiful color. And so you can see I have all 9 cups in with the 4 cups of sugar, and now I need 3 vanilla beans. And I'm going to slice them and I'm going to scrape them. And even the bean itself is going to go into our mixture for a little while. And so I'm just cutting, always using the back of my knife so I don't have to worry about cutting myself. And it's really thick at this point. And that's exactly what we want. We're going to turn the burner on to a medium heat. And the sugars in the pears start to warm up and they make a beautiful liquid around it, and you can see that it's starting to boil, and I need to keep boiling it until I can mash the pear and it will just fall apart on the back of my wooden spoon. Now it's at that point, so I'm going to take up my vanilla beans, and they are extremely sticky right now from all the sugar and the pear juice, and I am going to just toss those out. Now I like to use my food processor. I leave some of the juice in there, and I'm just going to puree it. You can use a lot of different things, a potato masher, a mixer, a blender, anything you want. But I want it to look like the consistency of applesauce. And so I'm just going to keep pureeing that until I get that consistency that I want. And see how that looks like a great applesauce? Then I know it's perfect. So everything goes back into the stock pot, and I need 1 package of Liquid Pectin. Now, you know, I don't usually use Liquid Pectin, but on this recipe, it just works really well. Now, it has to boil for 5 minutes, and just before it gets done, I add a half a teaspoon of that cinnamon. My jars are all washed and ready to go. The lids, the rings, everything has been cleaned so that I can put my jam inside there. Now I'm only making a few jars, so I'm just going to scoop it and pour it right in there. I'd like to leave about a ½ inch of headspace, but do be careful because it's hot. And I can't even tell you how many thousands of jams I've made. Now it ended up that I have 8 full jars, and the last jar is about 3/4 of the way full. And so I'm just going to put the lids on there and just finger tight that. I want it just one snug turn, but I don't want it overly tightened. So you can see how you just a quick snug turn, and that will be perfect when it goes into the boiling water. So here all the jars are ready. Now that one jar that had only 3/4 of the way full, I'm not going to process that. That's just going to go in my refrigerator. So they're ready to go in. My water is boiling. I am putting it in the rack. Now you see there's a lot of space in there. And when it boils, those can tip over. So I'm just going to take 3 jars. I'm going to put it right in the center. And that way they will stay in place. And it won't hurt the glass jars at all. Now I always put a little bit of vinegar in the water so I don't get a calcium buildup or any kind of buildup of minerals while it's boiling. Now it's going to boil for 10 minutes. And so we're just going to put our timer on and we will watch it for the 10 minutes. When it gets done, I'm going to reset my timer for 5 more minutes, and it's just going to sit there without me opening it. And it just seems to seal it really well when I do that. So I'm going to take them out, and they are extremely hot. So always be careful when you take your jam jars out of the canning, because it can be very hot. So they're going to sit on the counter for a while. I put some on some bread so Joe could try. Now Joe is going to taste the vanilla bean pear jam, and it's on a piece of sourdough bread, and he's making faces. Hasn't even tried it. He's making faces. Joe, go for it. I think you will really like it.
Here we go, baby. That's good.
He's so funny. He thought he wouldn't like it. I don't know what he's thinking. He's had so many of my jams.
That's real good.
Thanks, Joe, for being the taste tester.
You're welcome.
Well, everybody, I hope you try some jam this holiday season. Always like, subscribe, share with the world, and have a very merry, Christmas.